How's it going, everyone? I'm Keegs, and I thought The Last of Us HBO adaptation was amazing, largely due to the fact that they stuck very close to the source material, plus all of the acting in it was just really top-notch. In this video, though, we're going to be talking about the ending of The Last of Us and its controversy surrounding what happens, so let that be your warning that this is going to contain spoilers for everything that happened in Season 1, though it's not going to contain any spoilers for the second game that came out that may be the next season. During the season finale of the show, Joel and Ellie make it to the Fireflies, and they immediately get flashbanged and taken. Joel wakes up to Marlene telling him that, hey, it was just a big misunderstanding. They didn't know who you were at first, but we figured it out while you were unconscious. Oh, and don't worry, after we saw who it was and, saw that it was you guys, we figured you probably don't want to be bogged down by saying goodbye or any menial things like that. So we moved Ellie to the surgery ward, and we're going to kill her on the hopes that we find a cure for humanity. That's cool with you, right? Alright, I'm just gonna stop and call my bullshit flag here, because they knew exactly what they were doing. Marlene knew that Joel was a threat, and if he didn't go along with what they wanted to do, or he objected in any way, he was gonna be a real problem for them, and cause them a very hard time, clearly. Even if they ended up winning in a fight against Joel, they would probably still end up with a ton of casualties, and I'm definitely sure that they thought it would just be easier to remove him from the start, just kind of give him a little separation, a little bit of distance, so that he can, maybe have an easier time accepting the fate of Ellie. I'm not sure. What they didn't consider is that Joel is an absolute savage.
Said keep walking. Where is she? Fuck you. I don't have time for this.
And you've literally given him a reason to live, and now in the blink of an eye, you've taken it all away. And when you take a absolutely ruthless man and give him nothing to lose, you end up with this brutal ending. Ironically, if they just had everyone conscious and discussed it like adults, then the Fireflies probably would have had a way better outcome for themselves, because Ellie would have sacrificed herself if she thought it meant she could save humanity. And even though Joel's a monster, would he be a monster in front of Ellie that way? I'm not so sure. And even still, even if he wanted to, it's very possible that just Ellie being there would be enough to keep him in check and kind of pull him back. Plus, he knows that if he goes off and kills all the Fireflies, then Ellie probably is not going to be his daughter in the way that she is right now. So really, I don't think Joel would have had an out in that sense to just kind of kill everybody and then get away with it in the end. But they didn't do that, so Joel takes out all of the Fireflies, honestly with ease, and then takes Ellie back to the town with his brother. Now, the big question that has been asked since the inception of this game was that the right thing to do? I think the real problem here is that Joel does this for himself. He doesn't do it for Ellie. Ellie consequently benefits from the actions that he took because, she lived, but it wasn't for her, it's for him because he just could not take losing another daughter. Something the game hints at a little bit more that the show didn't was the fact that this is not a guarantee procedure. There's no guarantee that if you kill her and try to find the cure that you're actually going to find one. So even though Ellie is the strongest hope for humanity, she's not 100% guaranteed to actually do anything, and her death could be for nothing in the end. Not only that, but if you fail after killing Ellie, she was like the only hope, so you can't even do a further test or try something else because your host is dead now. I mean, maybe Marlene could have put it together that her mother was bit and then cut the umbilical cord right there at, the time of delivery, and they could go down some really dark route where they, get a bunch of pregnant women to get bit by the clickers and then get a C-section before they actually turn themselves, but seems like a stretch. Delving down even further, was Joel right in killing Marlene at the end? She was completely helpless, so even though it's not cool to execute people, he was probably right that she would eventually come after Ellie. Marlene's entire purpose in life was to save humanity through whatever means necessary, and she constantly killed her friends and family to accomplish that goal, because that's what she believes in, is all for the greater good. There's no doubt in my mind that she would have rounded up all of the other Fireflies and went on the hunt for Joel and Ellie because she believes that Ellie is a hope for humanity, even if it means Ellie's death. I think that was actually the most logical choice here for Joel, since he's already killed literally everybody else, including the doctor, so just why leave the chance? But I think it's really important to remember that it was an entirely lose-lose situation for both sides because they were both morally gray. If Joel would have just left and let Ellie get killed, then I would say that that is morally gray because you're okay with letting a little girl die on potentially a fool's errand, and if you went and killed all of the other Fireflies, then at least you're killing a bunch of other people that were okay with killing a little girl. So, you know, he did take out quite a few guys there, and it was an amazing scene to watch, and just the ruthlessness of Joel. But the people he was taking out weren't necessarily the good guys, even though they're kind of framed that way in the show. It's really supposed to show that there are no good guys or bad guys in this world. Everybody's just doing what they can to try to survive. It's really easy to say that Joel is in the wrong here if they had killed Ellie and there was a cure found, but I think it's also just as easy to say that the Fireflies were clearly in the wrong if they kill Ellie and then a cure isn't found. So in hindsight, yeah, you can say one was right or the other was right, but you can't know that, and you can't know that future that could potentially happen. So in my opinion, I do think Joel did the right thing. It was right for him, and it was definitely right for Ellie, since she didn't even get a choice in the matter of whether she could give her life or not. Now, was it right for her to get lied to in the end by Joel because she asked a very pointed question, because she kind of knows the answer already? And that's also another morally gray question. I think the answer is it was probably good for him to lie to her at that time because, you know, she's still really young, and now you have no direction, no aim, you have no doctor that you're going after particularly. So if you try to go off searching for someone that can maybe find a cure, then you're possibly going to just die along the way. So I think it makes more sense to wait till she's at least a little bit older and then give her a choice then. And if she wants to, you know, go off on her own, or, you know, take Joel or whoever with her, then she can still do that. But finding someone in this world with the capabilities to do the dissection and research to find the cure seems pretty unlikely at this point, so it makes a lot more sense to wait at least until they know who they're going to go see and try to seek that person out and then do it. But that's not something that they wouldn't find out till, you know, much later, I would think. So I would give Ellie some time to kind of grow up and then eventually make that choice later in life. Also, after all this time in this world, like, how many people are even alive in the world that are even worth saving? I mean, maybe that's a little too pessimistic, but anyways, what do you think? Did Joel do the right thing? If you think he did the right thing, leave a like. If you think he did the wrong thing, leave a comment and tell me why. I'm Keeks, and I will catch you all next time for some more video game content.